row. You can see the banner then waiting to unfurl as they rush forward. Troops now moving forward to the Russian German positions. Taking casualties to advance forward. Some of the Germans now attempting to surrender. Cautiously moving forward there as they take the first of the German captive. Some of the Germans attempting to flee. The Russian reconnaissance group now attempted to follow up angry withdrawing Germans that are straggling back towards the tree line. If you look towards the fire arena now, you can see that the Russian troops are chasing the dismounted German troops as they try to extract back to safety. Looks like the last of the dismounted troops now has been run down to the ground. The Russians are now searching the dead. Looks like they've captured a German first aider. You see the Soviet first aider, there's a female deployed just checking the wounded Russians as she attempts to move forward.
They always overdo it.
Het heißt
So William, you're taking a rest, are you? You do look rather old. Was it a long night last night, Sir Knights? Did I get any more nights in one sentence? At last, one night has been practicing.
Is it big or small?
How big? Do it like that. Is it that big or really big?
That big. That's what in here, I think. Yeah, you got a couple of the guys from Australia. That's all I've got. They do. I think that's the cases the rocket's going to.
Why have a fire?
Okay. this. In there, controls.
Now you have one of the French columns marching forward, coming from your left at the moment, from the cover of the trees. They will shortly deploy to actually advance down towards the 95th. Napoleon's very often depicted riding a white charger, although he had several horses. A particular horse called Marengo was one of his favourites, and the skeleton of this horse, which was captured after Waterloo, is currently in the National Army Museum. The horse artillery, which is normally used for fire manoeuvre, is now retired, unlimbered, and is getting prepared to fire again. The British heavy infantry have now arrived, hopefully just in time to save the day. Today we have the 88th Connaught Regiment, which is an Irish regiment, which fought very much in the peninsula and earned great distinction in various battles and sieges during that period. Also today represented, we have the 2nd Foot, the Queens, and they now form, or part of the current regiment, Princess of Wales, which is the local county regiment. We also have Highlanders Regiment, and we have representation from the Royal Marines on the field today as well. 21st Line, who are nearest the public, are currently in column, marching down the field with their eagle. The eagle was a symbol that was very much distinction of the French Napoleonic army at the period. In 1805, Napoleon presented the regiment with an eagle in Paris, and it was very much the eagle rather than the flag which was important. Several of these were actually captured. Two were captured at Waterloo by the British, one from the 45th French, and the 105th were captured as well by the Royal Dragoons. You'll also see that the British carry two standards. One is referred to as the King's colour, and the other is referred to as the regimental. Regimental colours are in this case, is the yellow, and the regimental colours were normally the facing colours of the individual regiment. The King's colours were invariably the same for every regiment. The only difference is the designation that was written or painted upon them. I believe now we're going to get some cavalry melee. And the cavalry are forming on the left. And whoever the gentleman is with the camera in the middle, can he move out of the way, please? See the Hussars are going to take Fred's column in the rear. Appears that the British have decided a little bit not to engage a little bit and backed off a little bit more. Both armies were actually armed with the smoothbore musket, not particularly accurate, and therefore when they did some holes are edging very slowly forward. They're not quite so sure what's going to occur. They're going to force the British back. Question is, will they break?
Pause. Right. So we're going to do that again, just one.
That's us, that's the goodie. That's the goodie.
Mm-hmm.
One has the star one and the goodie. Mom, Dad.
The Allies opened their next offensive by laying an artillery barrage upon the route of advance. This was designed to soften up the suspected enemy defensive positions and clear a path for the Allies to move through. This artillery barrage inflicts further casualties upon the already exhausted and battered German soldiers. The Allies take their first casualties. The other German troops open fire also, pouring heavy fire upon the Allied soldiers. Aircraft flying in to attack the many German targets. The Allies realise that the enemy forces in this area are stronger than expected. The Allies cannot afford any hold-ups, so they call in support from their many aircraft. As they The Germans have got over the shock of the initial Allied bombardment, and they're now pushing everything. Once again, the Allied planes fly past, looking for new targets. This time, however, the German machine gun and anti-aircraft crews are ready, and they plan to pour fire at the low... The American tanks have been knocked out. The heavy German anti-aircraft fire forces the aeroplanes to fly back towards their base, and they will not be able to help any further. It's now down to the ground troops to try to end the German threat. Along the tree line, a courageous group of Americans move forward with their bazooka, aiming to take out one or more of the German vehicles. The aircraft come in again, once again to...